Hello, this is Arthur again. Today we're going to take a look at this 2011 Mercedes GL450 and we're going to talk about motor mount replacement on this car. This is a subscriber's car. It's the second time here. First time with the transfer case chain. Now he wanted to do motor mounts, so I just did them and I'm going to talk about some of the pointers and how to replace it. I didn't really see any good videos on GL450, GL550, this generation motor mount replacement. There was a couple, but I think they could have been done better. So first off, you want to remove the airbox. You gotta loosen up this brace. 2 bolts there, 2 bolts here, and one 10mm right here. And then this one can go up slightly, and you can undo this clip in the back, and then this hose, 2 vent hoses, and this lifts up. Next, there's one more step from top before you go and continue on the bottom. You gotta use a Mercedes motor mount tool, which is this one, and there is access from here to get to it. Make sure you disconnect your battery power line from here, and then once you're able to put this on from here, you can actually put a 3/8 ratchet from here upside down and loosen it up, and the rest you can get it with the what I used is a stubby 5/8 ratcheting, and it's easier to turn. And then on the driver's side, it's not really accessible from the top, and I'm going to show you how to do it from the bottom. But first we're going to look at the motor mounts. Okay, here are the motor mounts removed. These look to be original. This car is 2011, has 177,000 miles. Going with new mounts, both sides. Now let's take a look at the bottom, see what it took to get these out. So as far as the exhaust goes, you only have to remove the driver's side cat, which is 2 E10s on the exhaust manifold, and then 1 E12 over here on this bracket. You have to disconnect the 2 driver's side catalytic oxygen sensors, and then there's a bracket over here, and you also have to remove this bracket over here that goes right here. It's secured with 4 16mm bolts, and it pretty much slides out. Once you have the exhaust out from that side, you have enough room to access the top of the motor mount bolt, which can be seen right there. Right there, the 16. In order to remove that one, what I used is a Mercedes motor mount removal tool, which is this one. And what you do is you sit it on top of the bolt, and you put a wrench over here and you turn it. And I was able to loosen it up with fairly short ratchet, and then the rest I took it out with the hand. And then there are 2 E12s. They are accessible from the bottom over here. That's on the driver's side. And as far as the passenger side goes, as I said, I was able to loosen up the bolt from the top with the same tool, and then from the bottom there are 2 E12s to loosen up the motor mount. You don't need to remove the exhaust on the passenger side, as it's once you lift up the engine a couple of inches, it gives you enough room to drop the motor mount out. And on this side it comes out as well. You just have to move out the shields out of the way a little bit. It is loose, the shield at this point, so you can move it up, and then it will let you move out the motor mount. overall it's not a bad job. You don't need to remove the wheel or the shock or the exhaust manifold. It's definitely one of the harder motor mounts to do, but it's not as bad as for some reason I've seen people post videos and they seem like they're going through a lot of trouble to get them out. As long as you have the right tools, lift definitely helps, and you need to have a like a nice transmission jack like this to support the engine up. And then just be careful. I did also disconnect the steering shaft, which I probably didn't really have to, but from the top I was trying to access the nut and it wasn't enough room to undo it. If you do end up disconnect the steering shaft, which is fairly easy to do, make sure you lock your steering wheel with the seat belt so it doesn't spin out of the way and destroy your clock spring. Also wanted to add that putting motor mounts back, they're not bad, but lining up the bolts that fit from top, it's kind of a challenge, because when you raise the engine up, it moves to the side and then it moves forward slightly, and it's really not that much visibility or room for you to be able to put it back right and bolt those bolts back in. I did use a camera to help me guide it. I used this Tesla camera and it works really well. However, I did end up lowering the engine on the mounts slightly, giving me some play room with the engine, and then I was able to line up the bolts. I would say that was the most difficult part of this job, and it did take a while to be able to line up, especially this side. The other side was fairly quick. That's about it for this video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. There are more videos to come. Thank you.